Hey everyone, welcome to PM Sport Talk. I am your host Preston alongside my father Mike. And Dad, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great. Can't wait to talk some NFL predictions.
Well, that is one of our big topics today, NFL, as we are inching closer and closer to this season. Let's start off here though with MLB baseball. How about Mr. Shohei Ohtani in this doubleheader game? He had the first game, he pitched, he threw a complete game, and then the second game, he acted like he didn't just throw that many pitches in a complete game, and hit 2 home runs.
Unbelievable, eh? When you think he's done everything, he does even more. A doubleheader game. A lot of times players don't even play both games. He pitches the first game, and then he hits 2 home runs in the second, and they blow out the Tigers in both games. Unbelievable. I don't know what else there's left to say about this guy. I was one that I wasn't always believing all the hype. I mean, I knew he was really, really talented and good, but I was like, yeah, he's good, but he's not Babe Ruth, whatever. But you know what? He's inching closer and closer to that. So unbelievable. He's by far the best player we're probably ever going to see live in our lifetime. That's for sure. Just great. And now the Angels, you thought maybe they were going to trade him because they were out of it. Now they're not out of it. They actually came right out and said they're not trading him. And then they made some trades themselves to try to get a little bit better.
Yeah, the Angels are inching closer and closer to becoming a playoff team, especially with the help of Mr. Shohei Ohtani, who is playing out of his mind. He is going to be definitely closer and closer to becoming one of the greatest players in baseball, and he may already be there.
Yeah, he's already the greatest player in the game today. Now it's just all about legacy. Where's he going to stack up with all-time greats? Like I said, Babe Ruth and all those guys.
Yeah.
The difference with Babe Ruth, a lot of people, I know older people that I've spoken to, have said that, he's not Babe Ruth. He's not as good as Babe Ruth. They're right and they're wrong at the same time. Babe Ruth was a better hitter. And when he pitched, he was a better pitcher because he was great at both. But he only did it for 1 year. A lot of people don't realize that. This guy is doing it season after season after season. And we've never seen that.
Yeah.
Because when Babe Ruth went to the Yankees, he became a hitter. And he was great. Ohtani's not the hitter that Babe Ruth was.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he is very high level hitter and a very high level pitcher. He's not the best pitcher.
No.
He's not the best hitter. I think Judge proved that he's the best hitter when he's healthy.
Yeah.
But he's very high in both, and we've never seen that.
No, we haven't.
And he's going to win the MVP this year by just not even close.
Yeah, I've seen betting stuff, and right now Shohei Ohtani has the best odds to win MVP. So basically, that is minus 10,000 to win MVP. And every other player, if you pick any other player to win MVP, that is plus 2,500 odds.
Yeah, it's not even close.
The
only way he wouldn't is if he got hurt and missed the rest of the season. I mean, or he just went in some crazy tailspin. I can't even name you a player that's close to him right now.
No.
I mean, last year you had Judge was the guy, but he had some other competition. He wasn't. I mean, you knew he was going to win it, but there were some guys that weren't too far away from him. There isn't that this year. There's nobody close to Ohtani.
Yeah, Shohei, just look at his stats in this doubleheader game against the Tigers. In his first game where he was pitching, 9 innings played, only let up 1 hit, no runs came across, 8 strikeouts, and 3 base on balls.
Unbelievable. That's top-notch pitching right there. I don't know what else you can say to that. Awesome. And then you look at his hitting. His home run total for the year is 39.
Mm-hmm.
And he's batted in. He's third in the league in runs batted in, RBIs. I mean, this is unbelievable. We've never seen anything like this.
No, we haven't. Shohei Ohtani is just doing stuff that like you said, we haven't seen before. He's top level pitching, top level hitting, and it's just unreal what he's done.
Part of me wonders, would if he concentrated on just one, like if he was just pitching, would he be the best pitcher? And if he just concentrated on hitting, would he be the best hitter? I wonder if we'll ever know if that's ever going to happen, where he's going to like pick one or the other that he thinks he's better at and just stick with that.
Yeah.
Or is this always the way it's going to be? I'm just curious. I mean, you want both, but I'm just curious if he did one or the other, would he be great at that one thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. That's actually a great question. I've never heard anyone ponder that or ever say that. That's actually a great thing to wonder about, and it might be a wonder for the rest of his career.
Because I wonder if he gets older. You know, a lot of guys, they're not as mobile, and they're not, as they get older and stuff, their athleticism declines a little bit, but they can still hit the ball good and stuff like that. So part of me thinks that if anything, he would probably give up the pitching, because I think that takes more out of you than hitting.
Yeah.
I think you have, with your arm and stuff like that.
It's easy to throw it out and stuff.
Yeah. So, but I mean, there's no reason to do that now. It's just a crazy thought I had, because I did hear when he was might get traded, there were people saying, well, you're going to get a pitcher and a hitter. But then there was some of these experts were saying, well, but we don't know how long he's going to do both.
Yeah.
So is this something he's just going to keep up for the rest of his career, or is this something that's going to go away in a couple of years? I guess we just don't know. I guess as long as he's doing really good at both, he's going to keep doing both.
Time will tell.
I just wonder if it was just a thought.
Yeah,
it's just unbelievable player.
Mm-hmm. It's a good thought, and that's a good thought to leave us off with. We're gonna stay here with baseball. Switching gears a little bit though. Aaron Judge is taking off the IL. He's been on IL for a couple months now.
Yeah, great to see. I guess he's still not quite 100%, but if he's 85, 90%, the Yankees will take that, because that's still better than anybody they have. I just wonder if it's too little, too late for this team.
Yeah, like we've mentioned in these past couple of episodes, the Yankees are just pathetic. They've been pathetic all season long without Judge, and I just think that it's going to be a little too late for him to make an impact.
You hope that he does get the impact, because the playoffs are just better. I know we're fans of the Yankees, but the playoffs are just better if they're in it, because you have guys like us that love the Yankees. They're going to watch. And then you have the people that hate the Yankees are going to watch. So they bring so much excitement to the playoffs. And then you have Judge, who's him along with Ohtani are the faces of the game. You want a guy like that in the playoffs. It just makes everything better. So hopefully we'll get that, but like you said, it might be too late this year. I don't know. All depends on how he comes back. It's unlikely that he's going to come back and just be right in the groove and start hitting home runs and just pick up where he left off. I mean, he's got 2 months off. It usually takes a while.
Yeah.
So that might be why they don't quite make it. Hopefully they do, but I just think it's better for the game if he and the Yankees are in the playoffs. But if not, it doesn't happen very often, so I guess we'll have to live with it. But
yeah, the Yankees, I feel like it's it would be kind of better without them this year at least. So I kind of disagree there. I see where you're coming from though, but I just feel like the Yankees would put up so much of a fight this year because of how bad they've been. I just don't think Judge can make that big of an impact this year, if you know what I'm saying, because like their pitching is phenomenal. It's been phenomenal at least, and then they just don't know what to do when they hit the ball. It's like they forgot all those years of training. They just can't hit the ball, and I feel like it would be better without them, because I feel like if the team that's playing them, it's gonna be kind of like remember the Red Sox Yankees wild card game a couple years ago. I feel like the Yankees wouldn't put up too much of a fight and maybe stay in the wild card elimination.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That was just a 1-game thing, right? When that happened.
Now it's like 3-game series.
It is now, but when that happened, it was just the 1 game.
Yeah.
So at least they'd have a better chance.
Mm-hmm.
Like you say, there's in all probability they would probably lose that wild card round, but you never know. Baseball's so unpredictable. It's a lot like hockey. You just have to get into the playoffs, and then a lot of things change. I mean, it's crazy like that. You saw the Padres last year and the Phillies.
Oh yeah.
They didn't do anything all season. They just eked into the playoffs, and then they beat out the number one guys. So you just never know. And the Yankees still have some talent there. They're just not playing up to where they should be. Sometimes when they get in the playoffs, that light turns on and wham. So that's why I hope they make it. But I can see, I get your point because,
Yeah.
They just haven't looked good.
They haven't. And yeah, you bring up that Padres Mets game. It really shows that anything can happen though with those teams that eke in the playoffs. That is a good point you brought up because the Padres were playing the Mets in that series, correct, in the wild card.
Yeah.
And that first game, man, I'm sure Max Scherzer still has nightmares about that. They had 4 home runs off him that game.
Yeah, it was crazy. He just got shelled, and nobody thought that was going to happen. Nobody thought the Mets were going to lose to the Padres, and they did. So it's just crazy. That's why I say you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And the Phillies, of course, where they go to the World Series last year from the wild card. That was amazing. But I just don't know if I see the Yankees could do that. But once again, you never know with these sports. Anything can happen. And that's just sports. You just don't know what can happen. Anything can happen, really. Anything, any given day.
That's what's so great about sports. It's the greatest reality TV show there is.
Yeah.
Or sports, because you never know what's going to happen, and quite often the unexpected does happen.
Yeah, just like March Madness, unexpected always happens. All those sports, every sport, there is always an upset. You're always given an upset every year.
Yeah, that's what's great about it. If it was just the best teams winning all year, it'd be pretty boring.
It would be.
Yeah. So you got to have those upsets. That's what makes sports worth watching.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more there. Sports is really just such a great thing, and yeah, unexpected always happens. A little more serious topic, though, we'll get into here. LeBron James' son, Bronny James, enters cardiac arrest during a USC workout. Thank God he is okay. He's at home now. He's doing good. But, man, that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it was crazy when I saw that happen there this week. Of course, it brings you back to Damar Hamlin and the Bills. It's all comes to your mind right away. It's funny, we were just talking about that last week.
Mm-hmm.
Damar Hamlin, you brought up the first responders.
Yeah.
And then that happens this week with LeBron James' son. It's crazy. You just, here's a guy that's, going into college, going to play in the NBA. And now that could all be done with now. You just don't know. I mean, there hasn't been many reports about what happened, what led to this, if this is a chronic thing that he's going to have to deal with, or if this was just a one-time thing. Nobody knows. I'm sure we won't know for quite a while.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to keep everything pretty tight to the vest there. They're not going to tell us until they know everything. Just sad to see, a young man, 18 years old, I know a bright future. You just hope that, like you said, he's at home now. He's out of the hospital, so he's stable and all that. So that makes you wonder, well, what's this for his sports career? Does this mean it's over, or is this just a minor setback? I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, just kudos to those first responders there at practice that what they did with him.
Yeah, always quick to react there. You got to be in situations like that. I'm not going to get specific with this, but I am pretty disappointed on how some people in the sports world reacted to this. I've seen so much posts about this, and more people are focused about being right about stuff than Bronny's safety, how he's doing, because they're blaming a shot for this, the vaccine, and instead of actually worrying about Bronny's health, his well-being, how good he's doing, and I've just been seeing that a lot on social media, and I was pretty disappointed to see all that stuff.
Unfortunately, when things happen in sports like this, people that are looking to push an agenda are going to use anything they can. So if there was some links about vaccines and heart attacks, there's side effects and all that. They don't know anything about that. I mean, that's just speculation on their part. That's up for the experts to try to figure out. They're just trying to push an agenda, and unfortunately, people do that. And sports is a big place that happens. And like I said, it's sad to see. Like, we should just be worried about the young man's health. And when they know what happened to him, we'll know, and then there won't be any more speculation.
Yeah, well put, well put. I was just really upset about that. It kind of like made me a little bit angry that people could be so selfish about how they care about themselves instead of the young man's health. But I'm just happy that Bronny is doing okay, and hopefully he can pursue his season this year at USC and play high level basketball.
That would be the best thing for everybody.
Well, Dad, some things popping in the NFL off-season training camp. How about all these injuries that are happening? You know, Joe Burrow is going to miss several weeks, calf injury, calf strain. You got Jalen Ramsey going to need surgery on his knee. Nyheim Hines gets struck in the leg with a jet ski. He's out for the year.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
That one there was crazy when I heard that. A lot of high-profile guys. You know, Burrow the biggest of them all. That's the most concerning one, is Joe Burrow. There's been a lot of talk. Yeah, it's a calf injury. It's only we got a whole month or more before the season starts, so he'll be fine. But those calf injuries, those can linger.
They can.
And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but that could affect him for quite a while in the season. And once you start playing on it, if it's not 100%, it's probably not going to get to be 100% until you're done playing on it for the year. So that could be everybody says that's not a big deal, you know, but that could be a sneaky big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if it throws him off just a little bit, that's all it takes for him not to be as effective.
Yeah.
And he uses his legs. He's not Lamar Jackson where he's going to run for 50 yards downfield, but he uses his legs to get out of the pocket and stuff because they don't have the greatest offensive line. And he's great at that. He picks his spots. You know, it's a 3rd and 7, and he drops back, and he'll, you know, if there's nobody open, he'll run for the first down, stuff like that. That could affect that part of his game, which would make him just a passer, a pocket passer. So, you know, that's the one I'd be worried about. And the one with the Bills, that's kind of a big one too, because he was so good in their return game last year when they traded for him.
Yeah.
They have some running backs that can fill in for him, but the return game is where they're going to lose him.
Yeah, they're special teams returning and things like that. And that's the one I kind of wanted to get into, Hines. Because of the injury, and there's some dispute too between the two teams. I mean, between the player and the team. Nyheim Hines is not going to get paid this year, is what the Bills are discussing, and Hines is kind of feeling that's unfair, something like that.
Yeah, it's.
Did you read about that?
I heard about that, and well, I don't know the specifics of his. I haven't really heard. I don't think they've come out with it. I'm sure they will as this keeps going. But a lot of players, they have things in their contract when they're in the off season they don't want them doing. They can't do. A lot of them, like, they can't ride motorcycles. They can't do certain activities because of the high risk of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these players have millions of dollars these owners have millions of dollars invested in these players.
Yeah.
So they put things in their contract, you know, that they don't want them to do. And I'm going to go on the premise that riding a jet ski is one of those that they don't want him doing.
Yeah.
It's a freak accident, but that's probably where the contract dispute's coming in, where they don't want to pay him. There must be something in there that they put in there that, hey, you're not supposed to be doing this. So, yeah, we're gonna find out more as this goes along. It just came out just the other day about this contract thing. So I'm really interested to see how that's gonna play out. I mean, I don't know. We just don't know yet, but that could be a big deal because if they don't want to pay him, he's not gonna want to stay there, and then it's just gonna be a mess.
Yeah. Hines is great in the return game. Great. He can be great catching passes out of the backfield too. That's kind of his strong suit, and uh, it's because he's losing his salary, like you mentioned, non-football accident, freak accident. Yeah, jet ski's probably not what they want him doing, but at the same time, I'm see why he's upset. It's business. I get what the Bills are doing, but it wasn't Hines' fault at all. He got hurt. He was just sitting there, and a guy crashed into his leg. So obviously that probably doesn't have anything to do with it, but I'm just saying that's probably one of the reasons he could be so upset.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like I said, it all comes back to how his contract is stated and what they have in their provisions and stuff. So it's going to come out. I'm sure we'll get a better idea of what kind of ground the Bills have to stand on as far as paying him and all that. I mean, they don't want to, you don't want to like irritate the player to where he doesn't want to be there. It's probably in their best interest just to pay him. But you can say it's a business, so who knows what they're gonna do.
Yeah, business goes a lot into it with that money situation, non-football injury, so it's not looking good for Hines and his salary. But at the same time, I kind of feel bad for the dude because, like I said, it wasn't his fault at all. He got hurt because of the jet ski.
Yeah, you feel bad for him in a way, and he's at that position that we talked about last week, the running back position. So, he doesn't have a lot of opportunities to make a lot of money as far as the NFL goes. I mean, he's still making good money, but his window is closing, because he is a running back. So that's probably his frustration too.
Yeah. So we're running out of time a little bit here, so we're gonna move on to our last topic, which you were really excited about. Would you like to introduce this topic for us, Dad?
Absolutely. I want to talk about the AFC East and where we think these teams are going to stack up. You got the Dolphins, Bills, Patriots, and the Jets. And it was about Aaron Rodgers of the Jets was in the news this week because he took a pay cut. He signed his contract with the Jets, took a pay cut from what he was making in Green Bay, and so all the talk was about how the Jets are going to be this year, the Super Bowl or bust, and all this stuff. So I'd like to get in there and see where we think where these teams are where they're gonna fall.
Yeah. So my opinion here, it's a little bit of a hot take, but to some people it would be a hot take. To some people they would agree with me. It's kind of a seesaw here. I think that the Miami Dolphins are going to win the division, barring any injury of Tua again, barring any players not getting injured, staying healthy. If they stay healthy, Dolphins are the team to look out for in that division. I don't see it in the Jets. I don't feel like it's the talent they have. I feel like they have too much distractions. They're on Hard Knocks, which is for people who don't know, a show which pretty much records the team's whole season and what goes on there. I feel like that could be a distraction. And I feel like they're getting hyped up too much, even by themselves. Breece Hall and Sauce Gardner have been on Twitter every day saying, we're the super team, we're going to win it all. Getting all excited.
That's never good.
Getting all excited. And I just feel like teams like the Bills and Dolphins, those two teams are locked in, they're focused, they're not worried about any news in the offseason about them. But I feel like the Dolphins could be better than the Bills, but the Bills are still going to be a playoff team. I feel like those two teams are going to be neck and neck this year, and the Patriots are just the Patriots. They're not making the playoffs.
Yeah, I think I still have to go with the Bills as the top team because I still think they have the best quarterback. He is mistake prone once in a while. I got them first, and I'm with you. I think Miami's right there. I think they're second as long as Tua stays healthy. If he doesn't stay healthy, then they could finish last.
Yeah.
It's all up to his health. I mean, they did get Mike White. He's a good backup.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all him. You saw what they were with him last year and what they were without him.
Yeah. But yeah, I see what you're saying there. They were in regular season wise not the same without Tua, but in the playoffs, I mean, if Mike McDaniel wasn't stupid and ran down the play clock every time and wouldn't
crazy.
call it and had to waste his timeouts, they probably would have won that game. Skylar Thompson played pretty well for being put in that situation as a backup, as a third string, actually.
Yeah, it was against the Bills. Well, you saw that game. I think that was one of those things I was talking about with Josh Allen, the mistakes.
Yeah.
That's the thing you worry about with him. All the talent, strong arm. He threw for like 36 touchdowns last year, 12 interceptions, I believe, something like that. And, Tua, I just don't know about him because I hear a lot of people are like you are picking them first. But, I mean, do we really think he's going to stay healthy all year? Do we think that's going to happen? I don't think it is. I just have a feeling. That's why I've got, I'm kind of flip-flopping on myself here. But maybe I will put the Jets second. I don't know. What do you think? Think I'm going crazy here or what?
I don't think you're going crazy. I think you're going ballistic. The Jets are just, I don't see it. They're just too much. There's too much distractions. Like, I could be wrong. The Jets could borrow that away. Rodgers could play good, but Rodgers is getting up there in age. He showed he can still play, but I don't know. I feel like his body's starting to give out on him a little bit. You saw last year with the injuries. Jordan Love had to come in a few games. I could be wrong once again, but I feel like Rodgers could have a whole different turnaround and not be that Hall of Fame quarterback he was in the Packers.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think Miami, because Miami will be the second team, I think, as long as Tua stays healthy. Now that I think about it, the Jets, if you look at their schedule to start the season, it's unbelievable who they play. They play
Buffalo week 1.
Buffalo week 1. I think they play a lot of good teams. So if they can get through the first half of that schedule, like with only like 2 or 3 losses, then I think they'll be right there in the mix for that division.
True.
But that's a gauntlet. But then again, that whole AFC East schedule is going to be hard. But I'm with you. New England's definitely last. I'm going to put the Jets third because we're uncertain about Rodgers.
Okay.
If he's the old Rodgers, then I would flip-flop them in Miami. I'd have Miami third.
Yeah, but we're just unsure.
So I'm going to go with them third. I'm going to put Miami second, Tua's health. And then I think Buffalo finishes first no matter what. I just think they have the Josh Allen doesn't get hurt. I think he's starting to learn now that he's going to have to be a little bit more careful. Not those crazy wild plays what he does. So I've got them first.
I'll do my division standings, then we'll move on to plays of the week due to time issues. First, Miami Dolphins. Second, Buffalo Bills right there, though. Right there. I'm not saying they're going to be bad. I'm saying they're going to be right there.
You got them both in the playoffs. Though.
Yes, both in the playoffs.
I agree with that.
Jets, third. Patriots, last.
Now, what do you think about the Jets? Are they going to be right there for a wild card?
I feel like they could be right there for a wild card. I feel like that's a possibility. I don't think they're division contenders yet for that first place, but I definitely see them getting a wild card spot.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I could see that too. And that for the Jets, that'd be, they haven't been in the playoffs, I don't know since when. Been forever. So we've got where we have Miami and Buffalo. So you got them winning, I got Buffalo winning. But other than that, we're pretty right on.
Yeah. So now it's our favorite time of this podcast. Plays of the week. Here we go. You want to start us off here?
Yeah, I got Bobby Witt Jr. I'm going to bring him up because what he did. I know he plays for the Kansas City Royals, but they're down 5-4. He comes up, the bases loaded, hits a grand slam walk-off. What a play. Royals beat the Twins, the first place Twins. Unbelievable.
What makes it even more unbelievable is where that pitch was and how fast it was. 102 outside the zone, inside.
Oh, crazy. I don't know how he hit that, but he did. Great play. I think he's an up-and-comer, that Bobby Witt Jr. I think we're going to hear about him in the years to come.
Definitely. He's got that speed. He's kind of similar to a lot of players that are stars right now. Next play comes from last night. The Baltimore Orioles, the bottom of the ninth. The tie game 0-0. Anthony Santander comes up to the plate, hits a high drive to right center and that one is gone. No doubt about it. He knew it off the contact of the bat, and the Orioles win once again against the Yankees.
Yeah, another blown Garrett Cole start for the Yankees. He was phenomenal last night. Zero runs, 3 hits. Just great. And then the Yankees lose it in the bottom of the 9th.
Well, unfortunately, that is our time, though. Thank you guys all for tuning into this episode of PM Sport Talk. We had a blast talking about sports with in the studio and giving out contact for you guys. But we will see you guys next week on the PM Sport Talk episode. And thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a great weekend and week.
Hey, if you like what you see, you can subscribe down below, and you can listen to our podcast at any time. And also, if you want to reach out to us, you can reach us at pmsporttalk@gmail.com. Also coming soon is a website. Thank you all for listening. Have a good one.